to the United States of America from Russia. And this was also the time when I met my stepdad for the first time, because my mom had met him previously, but I was living in Russia, so I didn't know him. And of course, there was this, desire for me to get to know him and for him to like me. It was really important to me. Also, at that time, we were living in this apartment with a balcony. And on this apartment, we would always have squirrels that would come in and eat nuts that my stepdad would put on the balcony for them to eat. And I would get really excited about these squirrels because there's a huge difference between Russian squirrels and American squirrels. So Russian squirrels are very tiny. You rarely ever see them. Like if you see a squirrel in Russia, it's a big deal, especially in Moscow where I lived. And they're always really dirty and underfed, and it's just a sad scene. Whereas in America, they're nice, they're well-fed, they're pretty fluffy, you really want to touch them. And so when I would see these squirrels come to our balcony, I always had this desire. I was like, I really want to pat a squirrel. And so what happened was I decided that I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna trap the squirrel, and I'm gonna make sure that once we're in this intimate setting together, I'm gonna be able to pet it. And so I took the nuts and I opened the balcony door, and I put them on the balcony, and I would consistently add an acorn so that she would move closer to the door. And so, we got to a point where she felt pretty comfortable with me, and she thought that she could trust me, which was a mistake. And so the squirrel goes into the room, and I feel so successful. I'm like, wow, this is a triumphant moment for me. This is the moment when me and the squirrel are gonna have this connection. And so I close the door behind her, and the opposite of what I was expecting happens. She freaks the fuck out, and she just starts running around the kitchen and the room and breaks our lamps and our, she starts banging against the window. And of course, I don't know what to do. I didn't expect this reaction from the squirrel. I thought I would close the door and she would sit there and look at me with her big eyes, and I would get to pat her and maybe keep her, but that's not what's happening. And so I have to call my stepdad, and this was one of the first interactions we've had. And I'm like, Andrew, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do with this squirrel, and it's really scary. And so my stepdad lets the squirrel out. And ever since then, the population of the squirrels that come and visit us has been reduced. I don't know if they talk to each other, but I guess they knew that there's this girl who just wants to trap squirrels. I don't know if my stepdad and I ever, I think he now knows that he has an interesting stepdaughter, but I guess that was my way of impressing him, so thank you.